So Central Europe the past few days has been getting hammered by a very extreme low pressure system. Actually, it got named. It's called Storm Boris, and it produced widespread extreme catastrophic flooding across portions of Hungary, Slovakia, Czechia, and especially into Austria. And it even produced heavy mountain snow in Austria up to a meter or about 3 feet of snow. So a very extreme storm the past few days. And so I just want to show you guys the impacts of this. Now, as of today on September 15th, the majority of the storm is almost over for Central Europe, and the storm is on a weakening trend. But I just want to go over like everything that happened and what caused this, because this was very extreme and especially for early September, especially getting some of that heavy mountain snow and the cold air behind the system. And so this is the satellite view of it today on September 15th. Very organized storm. The center of it, you can clearly see the center of it located right here where my cursor is, right along the border of Romania, Serbia, and Hungary. But otherwise, yeah, we got the spiral bands along its northern side and the eastern side with that southerly flow coming into portions of Romania and Ukraine, bringing a lot of rain there now. Heavy rain still occurring on the backside of it and the portions of Germany and into the western side of the Balkans. And so here's what the storm looked like yesterday on the 14th as it was developing, and here's it the day before that on the 13th. So this storm has been pretty much sitting over Central Europe, producing widespread rains over the same areas. That's what's been causing the flooding. And not just, it's between the longevity and the intensity of the rain, it's been producing widespread damage and pretty much widespread impacts across much of Austria, into, like I said, Czechia, Slovakia, and into Poland. And if we look at the past 72-hour rainfall across Europe, you can clearly see this bullseye basically from northern Croatia into Poland, and especially right there into eastern Austria and eastern Czechia, and into western Slovakia. That's where we had the most extreme rainfall totals. And if I zoom in on Austria here, you can clearly see on the eastern portions of the country and into Czechia where we had upwards of 200 to 400 millimeters of rainfall, or about 7 to 15 inches of rain. These are extreme amounts, easily producing widespread catastrophic flash flooding. And this area is pretty mountainous too, so we had very bad problems with mudslides and everything. And with the cold air on the backside of the system, even for mid-September standards, we got very heavy snow across the Alps there in Austria, upwards of 1 meter to 2 meters, or about 3 to 6 feet of snow for mid-September. Basically unheard of. This is insane, this storm. And so these are the current temperatures at the moment, and mind you, this is the afternoon in mid-September. We have temperatures only reaching 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, basically from the central Balkans into Central Europe. Very cold for mid-September standard. That's about in the 50s degree Fahrenheit. And into Austria, we have temperatures in the afternoon here below 10 degrees Celsius or below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Extremely cold for mid-September under the core of that low pressure system there. And then looking at minimum temperatures this morning on the 15th on the backside of the system where we have that northerly flow, much of Germany and France and into the Netherlands and Belgium below 10 degrees Celsius this morning, and in many places even getting down to 5 degrees Celsius or about 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said, extremely cold for mid-September standards. Okay, and so next I want to just show you the forecast with this system, what it's going to do over the next few days. Now, like I said, it's been on a weakening trend in the past 24 hours. I wanted to record a few days ago before the storm happened, but I have been pretty busy like I've been for the past month. That's why I haven't recorded much lately. But anyway, just going out, this is looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies. Anywhere in blue is a trough, anywhere in orange is the upper level ridges. And the more deeper the color, the more anomalous it is, or more above or below the average. So at the moment, today on September 15th, you can clearly see here's our storm Boris, a very intense upper level trough there in the Balkans. And to the north and to the west of it, we have a lot of upper level ridging going on. basically all across northern and western Europe. So this storm is kind of boxed in at the moment. That's why it's not moving so much. We have a blocking pattern across Europe. And the storm over the next few days actually retrogrades westward. And just going out, this is going out to around Tuesday into Wednesday. The storm actually moves westward over towards Italy, and we get a massive ridge that develops to the north of it in northern Europe. So this is what's called a Rex block, when you have a high pressure system over a low pressure system. And so this is a blocking pattern. And so this weather pattern will get stuck. So areas in the high pressure will stay clear for many days in a row, while areas under this low pressure in southern Europe, we could be talking about some pretty ugly weather over the next few days as this weather pattern over Europe gets blocked. And then going even beyond that, going all the way out into Thursday, you can see that low pressure system just sits over Italy and over the Mediterranean Sea, bringing some pretty squally weather in that area, which I actually want to show you guys. And so now we're looking at the precipitation, and this is our storm Boris today here on September 15th over the Balkans, with all the rain wrapped around that. We have one more batch of heavy rainfall incoming for portions of southern Germany into Hungary and Austria overnight tonight into tomorrow on September 16th. So the flooding is not done yet there, with more rain incoming, unfortunately. And then going into Monday night into Tuesday, we actually have an energy transfer where we have low pressure development to the west of Italy and the Mediterranean Sea. And with the location of the low pressure there and off the west coast of Italy, we're actually going to have, with the counterclockwise flow, a push of onshore wind and bringing that tropical moisture right off the warm waters of the Adriatic Sea into the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy and northern Italy. So we could be talking about very heavy rain Tuesday into Wednesday there, especially across the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, and even all around that in portions of central and northern Italy. We could be talking about very heavy rain. For this is all going into Wednesday. You can see that onshore flow bringing all the rain there. So we could be talking about, or here I'll just show you right now, the rainfall totals. So we could be talking about another 50 to 100 millimeters of rain there across northern Italy, especially the Emilia-Romagna region. That's about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. And still, you could see what to come across portions of southeastern Germany into Czechia and Austria. Still another 50 to 100 millimeters also in that region there. And that's going to be on top of the 200 to 400 millimeters we already saw there in Austria and Czechia. So like I said, so storm totals could be upwards of 300 to 500 millimeters by the time the storm is done. This is unprecedented scale to see numbers that high. That's why we have massive flooding in this area, and unfortunately loss of life already. And then looking at max temperatures over the next few days, on Monday, still extremely cold for mid-September under the core of that low pressure system. Temperatures barely reaching 15 degrees Celsius, or even lower than 15 degrees Celsius across the Balkans, or 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Very cold for mid-September standards. But once that storm departs, with temperatures warm back closer to average, closer to 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, or into the mid-70s degree Fahrenheit. And so looking at temperature anomalies, you can clearly see today extremely below average across the Balkan region and into Central Europe, while much of Europe remains below average in general for today, except once you get into portions of Eastern Europe and into Russia where it's above average. But in general, over the next few days, Southern Europe and the Mediterranean will be below average in terms of temperature under that trough, while Northern Europe will be above average in terms of temperatures for mid-September under that ridge. And this storm actually brought that heat wave in the Mediterranean to a grinding halt. And over the foreseeable future, I don't see any extreme heat for the Mediterranean region. And with that being said, that's all I have for today. I hope you all stay safe out there, guys. Have a good one.